Welcome back, guys. Welcome to another episode of Can You Flip It? We are in Long Beach again. We're in the South Wrigley area. So if you're familiar with Long Beach, then you know this is 90806. This is a really cute little tree-lined street. So I was quite shocked when I came this way. I haven't been over this way in a while. They really cleaned up this area a lot. And I think that this area has a lot of promise to it. And this particular house is a Spanish style, which you know is my favorite. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. It's a little bit over 1,100 square feet, and they have it priced at $725,000, which I think is a little high, but we're gonna get into that. The average sales price over here is about $802,500, and then the highest comp over here sold for about $875,000. Now this home has been on the market for about 14 days, and like I said, it's 1929 Spanish style, so really popular style of home. And if you come over to this area, most of the homes, especially on this street, are Spanish style. So let's break down this area a little bit. I want to get more in depth on how I look at areas because we haven't talked about that before. So here are the key things that you need to think about when you're looking into an investment property or when you're trying to flip. You want to look at the macroeconomics of an area. The population over here is about 40,000. It's about 57% blue collar workers, and the average wages over here are about $75,000 per year. I already discussed the housing market a little bit with you guys, but the average over here is about $802,500. The highest comp was about $875. The inventory is really tight over here. There's only about 7 new listings on the market. There's 2 that are in surplus. So you got a total of 9 listings over here on the market. So this is definitely a seller's market. You have 18 pending right now, and then there's 8 that sold. Rent versus ownership. In this area, there's about 36% owners and about 64% renters. So that is something that is key because you need to know that if you purchase this property to flip, it might be a long-term investor that might be interested in buying this and holding it and renting it out. Or it could be a first-time buyer, but just be aware that this area is mostly renters. This is a 2-bedroom. I did notice some details about it that could expand it a little bit. It has a covered patio over there that has a door that leads to one of the bedrooms. That could potentially be an addition. There's also a detached garage back there with alley access. So that's always great when you're thinking about ADU potential. You could create private access to an ADU. This could potentially turn into a 3-bedroom or an opportunity for you to have 2 units on one lot. But if you just keep it a 2-bedroom, the average rents in this area are about $2,000. Let's get into the deal analysis. Now, in my opinion, I would not offer over $700,000. I probably would offer in between $650,000 and $700,000 on this, just because the numbers are kind of tight. But let's say we did offer $725,000 on this property. So let's talk about our holdover and selling costs. Our mortgage for 4 months would be about $6,100 a month. Our lawn care would be about $100 per month. Our utilities would range around $460 to $500 a month. Here's some of the things that I would repair on the house. I took a look at the roof outside, and although there are some tiles that look like they could be cracked, those could be repaired. A roof like this lasts about 20-25 years. So the best thing to do when you have a red clay tile roof, you don't necessarily need to replace the whole thing. Go over it, clean it up, get it nicely washed down and everything, and then replace some of the broken tiles, and then you can repaint and reglaze the roof and make it look brand new, and it's a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. Now, some of the windows and the sliding glass door are a little bit older, but that's not necessarily something that you have to be concerned about when you're flipping. I didn't notice any broken windows, so I'm not sure if I would go in and replace all of that. It's really quiet over here. It's not close to the airport, so I don't think you'll have an issue with noise per se in this neighborhood. And the kitchen kind of surprised me. Even though the cabinets are a little old, I feel like those can be refaced a little bit and painted and made to look new. And then I probably would put a more modern countertop in there to keep the cost down on the kitchen. I would definitely do the bathroom over. And then I would also do the floors over. The floors look quite old. It's possible that they could be restained or refinished, but I don't know. I probably would want a more modern look to the floors for this house. And then I noticed that this house had a lot of floor vents. I probably would do a brand new AC unit. And this is a Spanish style. So when we're talking about the paint on the outside, outside and the interior, I probably would go with more of those warm, white, smooth stucco, maybe put in some wrought iron, black details to the property just to give it more of that Spanish style look to it. At a purchase price of $725,000, a repair budget of $72,000, our holdover costs at $27,000, our selling and closing costs right at about $40,000, our break even would be just at $864,000. And we like to see a 10% profit, so that would be about $72,500, which means our ARV would have to be about $936,500. So like I told you guys before, the highest comp over here is about $875, so those numbers would not work with us. So at its current asking price, this is a no. You cannot flip this. In order to make this work, you definitely would have to offer a lot less, somewhere around $650, I'm thinking. The value add here would be, like I said, to really pump up the Spanish style and look at the paint colors and be very picky about what you choose. You want to get some warm, rich tones, get the red clay tile popping, and get some wrought iron, black iron details, and smooth stucco it out. It has a ton of arches in this property, so you really could make this property stand out. That's the value add here. If you have a little bit more capital, I definitely would look into converting that detached garage into an ADU and create a private entrance. So those are some things to consider. So basically, walking away from this, I don't think you can flip it. You have to get those holdover costs down in order to make this work for you. So let me know what you think about this property. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.